her. I think I wrote it in the back of the sheet. Here we go. She was born in Somalia, right? She represents Minneapolis. The president of Somalia, the Somalian Democratic Republic, his name was Mohammed Said Barre. He really was a dictator, and he ran Somalia into the ground. And as a result, America opened its arms after that civil war and welcomed thousands, tens of thousands of those people to our country, a place of peace and a place of democratic values. And she has the audacity to look us in the eye and say that President Trump is a dictator? It's insane, and it should be infuriating to everybody. And it's the view. It's a lack of perspective about how special this country is. That we have a constitution that's endured for 240 years. President Trump is doing the best he can.
I don't have many things to say to Ilhan Omar other than if you don't like it here, if you think that we're doing such a bad job, go back to the country that you fled. And I know that a lot of conservatives will say the exact same thing. Do not try to mold us in your image. You left that image. Go back. That's all I have to say.
The FBI alleges that Somali immigrants in Omar's community were taking government money to the tune of millions and millions of dollars over decades and funneling it to a group called Al-Shabaab, which is kind of like Al-Qaeda. And they were funneling our government money, our tax dollars, to this group. Now the federal government is descending on this area in Minnesota, and they want to start either denaturalizing people or taking people who are not yet citizens and getting them out of this country, especially if they've committed crimes like this. Now, Ilhan Omar gave a lengthy speech. I cut it down to the pertinent part, but she gave a lengthy speech about this and basically lied the whole time. And that's super sad for a representative of our government to do. I want you to take a look at this and let me know what you think in the comments.
In this country, we do not blame the lawlessness of an individual on a whole community. What we also know is that there is not a single evidence that the president or his coonies have put forth that there are any single resource from taxpayers in Minnesota that has gone to aid and abate terrorism. That language is dangerous. That language puts the lives of Somalis not only in Minnesota, but across the country in danger. And if the president believed that and he had evidence, he would take people to court. So we are sick and tired of the president waking up one day and deciding to put forth falsehoods and demonize whole communities, while the ignorant people that support him then take the lies that he's spreading and use it as a fact.
Family, since the deportation of Somali community in America started few days ago, we've seen many reactions from different Americans online, and we've seen a lot of backlash for Ilhan Omar for her sentiments in regards to these mass deportations. Many Americans say that her words does not sit well with them. They say that these Somali people should actually be deported because of defrauding America, money laundering, and supporting, their country. Family, people are calling this very, very wrong. They are saying that they cannot be pushing really, really hard, in a tough economic time to pay for taxes. Then their monies are being used to defraud the government through Medicaid. So family, I want you to watch this video all the way to the end as many Americans react to this situation of Somalis being deported. Some of these Somali people have now taken it to the social media platforms to just try and tell black people to help them in this difficult time. The very same people at some point told black Americans that they are not black folks, that they are Somalis, they do not identify as blacks. Family, watch this video all the way to the end as we try to get to debunk what is happening right now in America. Once the video is done, we will get back and do a critical analysis about the same. Let's watch this video together, family.
In case you did not know, Somalis are notorious for looting, stealing, their piracy, very well known for. They marry children, they don't have women's rights, women can't vote. And when you import a bunch of them into the middle of Minnesota in our country, they're going to do the same thing. They are going to steal. They are going to... It's so crazy that we've done this. They're not going to assimilate. They are just going to find a stronghold of a shared community of values that they have, Somali values in a Western culture, and they're going to do the same thing. They're going to cut off female genitalia because 99% of Somali women have done that, or I guess had that done to them. They are going to steal. Again, what do you think of when you think of Somalia? Piracy. Which is exactly what we are seeing, because in case you did not know, there is currently a massive investigation into this Medicaid fraud scheme amongst the Somali community in our country. They're making fraudulent claims and they are stealing from the taxpayers. They're stealing from our government. And if that wasn't bad enough, it has been reported that we are the largest funder of Al-Shabaab, their terror group back in Somalia. Yeah, they've been defrauding the US government and then sending it to our enemy. And we are at work paying for it. Calling this out, it's not racist, it's not xenophobic, it's not being anti-Somali. It's saying, hey, I actually think Western culture, the freedoms that we have, are superior. I would much rather live in a country where I have a voice, where I can vote, where my genitals aren't removed, where I could wear what I want, practice what religion I want. I think that's a superior way of life. And the people in Somalia do not think that's a superior way of life. They are coming here to change it and expecting anything else from a group of people that have not changed in their home country and then bringing them here and thinking they're going to change here. It's insane. It's insanity. And it's going to be the end of our freedoms. We cannot tolerate a group of people who do not tolerate our freedoms. It's not racist. That's not xenophobic to say. It's the truth, and we better start saying it. And the option of doing nothing about this isn't there. Bye-bye. Thank you, Trump.
So aside from her seeming like she was sounding like a Chinese movie because the audio didn't seem like it was synced with her lips, that's on her side, not on my side. I think that some of it is true and then some of it is embellished, right? And this is why we have to have conversations about these type of things, because yes, they are bringing their culture over here. Yes, I have been to Minneapolis and I've witnessed it with my own eyes. Yes, I've spent over a week and seen it with my own eyes. At the same time, it's difficult for me to say that you got to get rid of them and kick them out if the majority of them are American citizens. I believe in the rule of law. I believe in operating by the Constitution. I also don't believe in birthright citizenship. And I believe that people that are not supposed to be here in the United States of America should be removed if they are an illegal migrant on the soil of the United States of America. Now, what we also need to do is change the rules by which they are leveraging American law to continue to come over here in the United States of America. So, for example, Trump did a great job by removing temporary protective status, TPS, from Somalis who are over in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they have literally overtaken Minneapolis.
Every one of you doubted this president, even to go as far as saying that is it possible that he is selling out the country? That the Prince of Saudi Arabia was just here, and now he's palling up with Zohran Mamdani. And I gotta be quite honest with you, I had to dig deep into my faith, saying that I know that God has his president's back, and that there's no way in hell that this president is going to turn his back on the citizens of the United States of America. Breaking news just coming in that Donald Trump has just revoked the security and the protection of over 46,000 Muslims out of Somalia that are currently living in Minnesota, and he wants them deported immediately. That a scathing report has come out from the Somalian community that they have laundered hundreds of millions of dollars from the taxpayers of Minnesota and funneled it over there to Somalia. I told you that this was coming to a head. I told you that you guys are gonna fuck around, and I promise you that you're gonna find out. This is just the beginning, and every single one of you has brought it upon yourself. You came here from Somalia, you came here to have a better life, and now you're gonna go.
So it looks like President Trump is going to be deporting the Somali gangs out of Minnesota. He just tweeted, Minnesota under Governor Walz is a hub of fraudulent money laundering activity. I am, as President of the United States, hereby terminating effective immediately the TPS programs for Somalis in Minnesota. Somali gangs are terrorizing the people of that great state and billions of dollars are missing. Send them back to where they came from. It's over, President Donald J. Trump. And I think it's about time, and I'll explain why. My entire family on my father's side are immigrants. On the father that raised me side, also immigrants. And they all got their citizenship here legally, and they assimilated and love this country. Very big patriots. Beyond illegal immigration, you also have people who come here under a protected status, if you will, or some people who come here on visas. They not only just not assimilate, they actively work to diminish the country from within. In fact, they will openly say that they hate this country. Many of them will openly admit to taking advantage of this country with no intention of abiding by our culture or even love. A lot of people will leave countries that they are escaping from just to then bring those same standards of living here. We grew up learning that we are a country of immigrants, and that is true. And the diversity of America is absolutely a beautiful and wonderful thing if we're all aiming towards the same goal. In fact, that diversity makes us better when we're all aiming towards that same goal. But we also have to call out bad faith actors and multiculturalism, and when it is doing nothing more than just diminishing us from the inside. The United States of America, if it ever falls, will be from the inside.
We are one community. We're neighbors.
Yes.
We love each other.
Yes.
We support each other.
Yes.
We help each other.
Yes.
We unite for each other.
Yes.
Nothing can divide us.
We're dealing with families not being able to afford their groceries. We see our food shelves running out. Instead of that, he decided to also pit our communities against each other. And what we're saying is that is a distraction. The reality is that people are struggling, our communities are struggling.
TPS does not impact that many Somalis, like you said. The numbers are small because the vast majority of Somali Minnesotans who are here are naturalized citizens or they are born here, right? And America is our home now. We are Somali Americans. We are proud, regardless of the negative stories and things that they push against our community.
I want our government to stand up for the immigrants, for documented and undocumented people, because the Constitution protects all of us. I think that Somalis in particular have been the scapegoat. People have kind of highlighted, a few bad apples, painting a broad picture of just how all Somalis are, and that's not the case at all. If you look around, we are business owners, we're doctors, we're teachers, we're lawyers, we're mothers. People just trying to make a better life for themselves.
Today it's Somalis, tomorrow it's your community. Yesterday it was the Latino community. Before that it was the trans community, it was the LGBTQIA community. Who will it be tomorrow? White woman?
Omar Fattah is a Somalian immigrant who's running for mayor of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And recently he just held a rally. You want to know what he said? Take a look.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Somalia. Hiran State. Mawisle. Early voting hadda illa November 4. I need your...
Here's my question. This is a Somalian man running for office in an American city, waving a Somalian flag, speaking Somalian to Somalians, telling them to vote for him, pledging loyalty to Somalia. Why isn't he in Somalia? Seriously, instead of advocating for importing tens of thousands of these people into the United States, why don't you just go live there if you love it so much? I mean, it's a genuine question. The average IQ in Somalia is 67. Why do we want more of that in America? I mean, could you imagine the uproar if a Norwegian guy was running for office in the United States and he was waving the Norwegian flag, speaking Norwegian, pledging his loyalty to Norway, saying that he wants to bring tens of thousands of Norwegian immigrants over to get a better life? Or would people not care because they would assimilate into the culture and actually contribute to the system? The moral of America is if you're not pro-America, first and foremost, then you have no business being here. If you don't like this country, you can leave. No one will stop you.
If you want a good laugh today, check this out.
Somalis are not terrorizing this nation. We are helping it thrive. Somalis have always seen themselves as the fabric of this nation. So not only are we not going anywhere, we are not going to allow anybody to make us feel less Minnesotan or less American.
First and foremost, little Miss Brusband. I don't feel American. I am American, so no one can make me feel less than or less like something that I already am because I was born that. And the real problem stems from the fact that you believe that you are the fabric of this nation. By the way, that metaphor refers to people that share fundamental structures, values, beliefs, you know, culture and all this stuff. Didn't you come from Somalia, where the country's major fabric is Islam, what holds that nation together? And in Islam, you either convert or die. That's their belief system, correct? Or you force them to believe what you believe. Didn't Minnesota change their flag for you? See, if you were the fabric of this nation as you're espousing, you wouldn't have come to change the area you're in. You would assimilate and join in and share your culture and share your beliefs without forcing it on anybody, because no means no. But you guys don't believe in that. If I don't believe what you believe, you say I should die. So please miss me with that, little Miss Brusband.
Family, for the past few weeks, many Americans have been against the leadership of Donald Trump. For the first time, we are seeing them supporting Donald Trump, especially with his stand on deporting, Somalis from Minnesota. Family, Trump hasn't gotten the support he's gotten in this issue. Many a times people have been complaining about the cost of living, about how life has become unbearable. People have not been supporting policies that Donald Trump has been pushing in the recent days. But when he said that he would remove, the temporary permission for Somalis to reside, in America, he's gotten a lot of support, a support that he's not seen in a long time right now. They are supporting this because many Americans are crying that even with the heavy cost of living, they're still paying taxes and noticing that Somalis are moving a lot of money, defrauding a lot of money out of America. They won't stand that, and they are calling for the deportation of Somalis outside of America. It says that the Somali community has been falsely diagnosing children with autism to receive taxpayer handouts, taking advantage of America's system. They channel these monies back to their country, and they are supporting terrorist groups, according to many sources. And family, this did not sit well with Ilhan Omar. Ilhan Omar went ahead to say that Donald Trump is a dictator. And for the first time, we've started seeing Americans come up and defend Donald Trump, saying that it is true, his decision of trying to deport this group of people. They are saying that Ilhan Omar does not have a right to call their president a dictator. Well, it is true that their people are defrauding America millions in dollars. Family, Somalis right now claim that they do not get a check for their children, being diagnosed with autism. They are trying to prove that it is true that in their communities, they have a lot of autism rates. They are saying that most of which are being transmitted through genetics, delayed diagnosis, and some environmental factors. Family, things are not the same since then. We've seen a group of Somalis who have already been deported outside of America, crying, going live, asking black people for support. Black folks are questioning Somali people, telling them that when they needed them the most, Somalis said that they are not black people, that they are Somalis, they are not black Americans, they do not identify as black. And right now, karma has hit, and right now they need support from black people, and black folks are not ready to help them. Some other reason why the Somali community, especially in Minnesota, are getting a lot of backlash right now is the fact that a sheriff in the state of Minnesota, went ahead to speak in the Somali language and said that his sole responsibility is to ensure that all Somalis are safe. Family, the other thing that Ilhan Omar has mentioned was that Donald Trump is making the lives of Somalis, in Minnesota right now to be in danger. She says that Donald Trump saying that the money they are defrauding America is being taken for a terrorist unit makes the lives of other Somalis who are still in America in danger, and calls that very, very uninformed, information, because she believes that nothing of that sort is happening. And she proceeds to say that a problem that has been found with an individual cannot rule out the other Somalis. When one Somali has been found to be guilty, it doesn't mean that all other Somalis, have actually gone against the policies of the government. Family, the temperatures are rising right now, and many Americans are rising to support the decision of Donald J. Trump, something we haven't seen in many months since the cost of living went high. There hasn't been food stamps, benefits for the month of November. And some Somalis have called a press conference and said that this is a sort of distraction from the government of the day. They believe that Donald Trump is trying to divert attention of Americans with this topic. But family, Americans still insist that the Somalis need to be deported outside of their country, and they should stop stealing from them, because life right now in America is very, very expensive for them even to be in a situation where they can't be stolen from. Family, let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this topic that has been trending over the past week, where thousands, if not hundreds, of Somalis are now forcefully being ejected outside America. We are seeing them cry, asking that they should be listened to, saying that they do not deserve to be deported. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Kindly like the video so that it can be recommended to other YouTube users, and I'd be very, very grateful. Lastly, I'd really appreciate if you all took your time to subscribe to the channel. We are currently on the road to 50,000 subscribers. We just hit 35,000 subs, and family, I really hope that you all will do consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so, so much, and see you all in our next episode. Goodbye for now.